Well, for the first time ever outside the U.S., a conference aimed at advancing the state of transportation in cities is bringing it together here, bringing planners and other officials right here in Toronto. So how do we get masses of people from one place to another efficiently and with the environment in mind? Joining us now is the general manager of the Los Angeles Department of Transportation, Seleta Reynolds, who's also the head of the National Association of City Transportation Officials, and that is the conference that is happening right now. First of all, thank you very much for joining us. I know you're still a bit on LA time.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So we'll be kind and gentle right now. Why did the conference end up here in Toronto? It's the first time ever outside of the States, right?
So we have over 81 members, and we ask them every year who wants to host the conference. And Toronto raised their hand and said, we want to welcome everybody up to Canada, and we had never had it here, although we have some amazing members in Canada. And so it just seemed like the right time and the right place, and we're really excited to be here.
All right. Transportation, transit, vehicles, we are very similar with LA. We both have the big issues of moving people right now. What are some novel approaches you've taken down in LA to try and get people moving?
So it's all about giving people choices, and in Los Angeles we have programs like the largest electric vehicle car sharing program in low-income neighborhoods in the United States. We've tried that. Obviously we're trying to restore our subway and our light rail system. We're making a huge investment, over $120 billion over the next 40 years. But we're also trying things that are maybe a little more humble, a little less expected. We actually have the largest electric scooter program in the world. We have over 37,500 scooters on the streets of Los Angeles right now as we speak.
And how is that working for you? Because as we are talking about a temporary ban right now to figure things out. How is it working?
You know, it's actually working really well. Of course, it's a pilot, so we're fine-tuning things. But we're on track for people to take over 19 million rides on scooters in the first year that the program is in place. And it really only works because we took our time to think it through. We asked people what they thought. You know, a lot of folks it's very divisive issue. Some people are really excited about it. Some people are really worried about, will they be on the sidewalk and will I be able to walk my dog? And so at the Department of Transportation, we need to make sure that all of those folks get heard and that we put the rules in place, and then that we get the data from the companies to hold them accountable.
What are some of the things you did for the scooters that maybe surprised you, a rule that you needed?
So there were simple rules. We had to actually go out and put decals on the sidewalks to help people sort of see where to store the scooters, where the safest place was to put them. So low-tech interventions like that. But we also had to create a much more robust way of getting information and sharing data. Never about the person on the scooter, but always about the way the company was operating. I think one of the things that's been surprising to me is just the volume. And so in some neighborhoods, we've had to go in and sort of say, all right, everybody needs to sort of, you know, take it back a notch, you know, pump the brakes. Like, we have too many people in this one small area, sensitive areas like the Venice canals, where we were having some scooters and people were putting scooters in creative places. And because we have robust data sharing, we were able to say, all right, I can put an electronic fence around a particular area, and you can't have scooters there, or scooters can only go a certain speed. So it's those kinds of balanced rules that have made it work.
And what I would love to talk to so many more things, but a big thing you push is helping people, economic disadvantages, get them transportation. How important is that for a city?
So it's huge in Los Angeles. So you can reach about 12 times as many jobs in an hour by car as you can in an hour by transit. And that means that if you can't afford a car, you have a hard ceiling on the number of opportunities that you can reach. What transportation really does is lift everyone's boat by giving them access to opportunity, education, doing all the things that they need to do. And so with every program that we have, particularly where we're investing public dollars, we insist that those programs go to the neighborhoods that could use them the most, because, you know, technology companies and venture capital, innovation is fantastic. Those things are all going to go to the wealthier neighborhoods without me doing much of anything at all. Our role at the city is to make sure they go where they can serve the folks who need it the most.
Okay, Seleta, thank you very much for joining us. You can go have a coffee now. Wake up a little bit. Thank you very much. Seleta Reynolds is the General Manager for Transportation in Los Angeles, and the conference wraps up here in Toronto tomorrow. We have more coming up on BT after the break.